Hello, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more Widget Inc. Yesterday we basically got through the part of the demo. So if you played the demo, basically you can get up to where we are right now. And once you kind of build this stuff, then you're kind of stuck. Now, a couple of good news. If you have the demo and you get to this point and you're like, I love this game, I want to spend $5 on it, the game's for sale. You can buy it for $5, you can continue on. Second part of good news is if you play the demo, that save game goes straight into the regular game. You're not losing anything from checking out the demo. And there'll be a link down in the description to the Steam page for the demo, or you can just go look for Widget Inc. on it, either way. And then that will let you do that. Now, we have 820 of those guys. What I want to do is come in here to I'm sorry. You would have gotten, I don't think you can get copper. I think the demo ends right here where you can't get past into this section. So you can't get the long distance upgrades. I want to get into tier 5 here. We see we jump in there quite quickly. Once we start building those up again, that will start giving us our other widgets. So we need computational widgets. So here, and then you see there's a couple of orange things here. So we're going to go ahead. We'll control click all these guys up. And I'm just holding down control and left clicking on it. And that buys basically everything that is currently not bought, starting with the cheapest and working its way up. So that long distance upgrade, allowing you to basically upgrade from the map, makes your life a whole lot easier. And then you'll see these guys are going to go through and do all that stuff. And then kind of once they get all these, because these all need computational widgets. But those needing the computational widgets, we should be able to get those fairly quickly. As you can see, we're starting to kind of chew through them. And that will allow us to build more of them ultimately. And then, so that will give us that. So we'll just open this, close it again. Now, anytime you want to, you can like pause this. You pause it, and it'll start building up. You'll see it starts building up and starts maxing out the stuff. Sometimes if you get into a situation where you're kind of stuck and you can't progress because you need something big and it's filling up all the prerequisites for the other things, you can kind of pause it for a little bit and then unpause it. And then that can cause you to get kind of a jump again. So that's usually what I use that for. You can go through and right click and clear like individual things out of here if you want to. And then that, to kind of be like, okay, this is where my problem is. And you don't have to go try to find it on the map. You can, just kind of clear it out of there. So that's very helpful. Really what I'm trying to do is get up to the clone tool, because that makes my life a whole lot easier. And then we'll be able to start doing stuff here. So like, so I can set these things up to if you want, you can do plus 20 to all items, or you can do a single item, a single tier. If you choose one of these, it basically changes it to plus 200 storage for tier 1 items or plus 20 for all storage. So I usually just leave it to all items, so that way I bring everything up. Doing it for a single item in the beginning is kind of useful sometimes, but I don't know. You can play to your own heart's content. Let's see. What if I build another one of these? Yeah, but see, you can start seeing how out of hand some of these builds are getting. Now, the other thing you want to do too is with these where imminent domain, like this one doesn't have one, but factory must grow, right? So when you go and build this factory must grow, you don't want to be building a bunch of frames, because if you have a bunch of frames like already listed, it doesn't reduce those numbers, or at least it hasn't in the previous playthroughs. We may have to test it when we get here, build a bunch of stuff and see if it reduces it. All right, we're getting closer. We're almost there. Just watching the paint dry. But this goes back into that balance of having a good amount of stuff versus, having, a buffer, right? A buffer is helpful. It can get you quite a ways there. And if we can build more storage boxes, we can definitely have more of them. But I'm kind of stuck right now because I don't want to build more boxes or anything like that, because if I do, this thing's going to slow me down. Right, so there's that. So this is all going here. Really what we want to do is clone layout, right? But we need to get these guys over here to be able to do it. All right, so if we go down here, it's kind of the same thing where we're going to go here. We're going to build our Tesla coil here. We'll build a Tesla coil down here, and then we're going to build a core foundry here, and then we'll build our integrator down here, right? And then we need a bunch of widgets to do that. So once again, building a bunch of widgets seems like a common thing with us building things. Then we reach tier 5 in 5 hours and almost 6 hours. And I'm not paying through like really fast. I'm not trying to set a world record or anything like that. Like, I don't have fun doing that stuff. And if you do, hey, I'm here for you. I love to watch some of the crazy stuff people come up with and ways they jump and try to get ahead. And I'm here for it. I'm just not. I don't want to do all that math where if you click at a quarter of a second late on something, you lose the world record. I don't need that stress in my life. All right, so we'll go in here. So we're going to call lightning. So we'll send this guy up here, and then basically once he gets there, he does that. We get a bunch of lightning in the bottles, right? So we need more computational widgets for this guy. So we're going to press and hold this guy again. So all we're doing is pressing and holding it. Once it kind of gets up, it basically gets the lightning, and then we're good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do one of these guys. And then, might as well go get more of this stuff. Might as well get more, kind of get ahead of the next area there. We need computational widgets. Just kind of where we are right now. So, but it's the same sort of idea when you go from one to the next, right? Is I'm basically going to go in, and once I get this, now I'm going to induce thought. So I need to get this guy. So we playing basically Simon Says. But the problem is I need computational widgets to be able to get this thing to work. So I need capacitor widgets and computational widgets. I'm not going to have computational widgets anytime soon because I'm just not going to. I don't know. Obviously, we'll need bottle lightning probably for the other one, so we might as well call some more as we wait for our computational widgets to get caught up. But this is one of those things, like I was saying, like if you don't have this stuff set up right, I don't have a lot of extra computational widgets. I'm trying to build stuff right now, so it causes me problems. Once I get all this stuff done, now this guy need thinking cores, right? So once these guys get kind of built, so there's built. Now, all right, so there's computational widgets. Now they're starting to be produced. This guy is going to start making it, and then we'll start making those slowly. Now, in order to build the first one of these, I do need this resource, right? So this one, the way you play this game is you have a green coming in and a red going out, right? Or, green, red, and you have to find the one that matches, that will allow you to connect the way you want to. It's just kind of a memory matching game, right? Like this guy here. That guy there again. It was the same one. And then that's the crossover one. And then as you do that, you're going to start building more and more of these, right? So now it's starting to take off on a mind of its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here. I'm going to control, click, 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 click. And then we'll do this until we get all these kind of filled up. and then we'll go ahead and get all these guys done. All right, so once that gets done, I'll start building the next one, right? This guy's the same thing. We can start inducing thought, and then trying to get more of these guys in. Yeah, so it doesn't lose it, so you can just kind of click. All right, enough out of that. All right, and then these guys should start slowly. 5. Yeah. So there you go. So there we're building our integrated widgets. But like I said, so what ends up happening though is if we go in here and look, right, you can see like all the different ones that it's stacks them up in the exact order that you put them in, and then it slowly starts trying to figure out which ones it needs. And then like if I do this one where it needs thinking cores and integrated widgets, it's going to basically pull the thinking cores out, and it will basically slam everything else slow, right? So now if I go back into here, I look down at this bottom one, you see it's already got my thinking cores, but because it's pulling the thinking cores to here, it can't build this guy. So you have to kind of building long strings of things for it to work on. It's difficult because if you do that, like if you're gonna set it and be like, oh hey, build a bunch of this stuff, I'm gonna go get a sandwich, I'm gonna go outside and touch grass or whatever. You know, you need to go help somebody do something. If you're sitting at work and you're running this in the background, you can set it to do a bunch of stuff. Go do what you need to do, and then when you come back, it slowly works its way through it. It just takes a while to figure its life out. So the thinking cores are done, and now once those are done, now it's going to start building integrated widgets again, and then it will start building through those things, right? So it takes a while because we basically have one integrated widget maker, and then we can kind of do that. So and then it's saying not enough thinking cores, right? So now if you're in here and you're like, oh, I don't have enough thinking cores, I can go click on the thinking core, and then I can just go do this, right? And then I can just kind of do that, and then I can just get away like that, and then I can go back down here. I can try this one again, right? And then we can kind of keep building it. So you can click on here and be like, oh, I'm missing these guys, and just left click on it, go to that. It's a random one. I don't know if it's the last one you built or which one it is. Like there's no real way to tell which one I'm in without going in and doing a test. So like I would have to do a test where I picked up, like I had a bunch of different ones, so like all of them being at different build levels, and that would tell me like kind of which one I was in, right? So as we go through, we build all these things. So that one's just starting to slowly make its way through, and it does build it in order, so it auto fills everything up. I almost kind of wish it would just focus on, like, give us a mode where we could focus and be like, no, only build the first thing. Don't build anything else. Don't prerequisites into anywhere. Only build the first thing. And then that way it builds the first thing, moves to the next, build it. And I think ultimately that may be faster. So especially if you build a bunch of backlog to build like other resources, like the lower resources, and you have extra production there, it would be faster. But if not, what ends up happening is it dumps everything out of your out of your storage, and then it starts trying to fill it back, and that slows you way down. Matter of fact, let me go. Where is this thing here? See, for the limited only. All right. All right, so that is our tech layout is complete. So that is doing good there. So now we have area move. We'll go ahead and research that one too. We'll go ahead. I don't really need that one, but I'm gonna do it. Eagle Eye. We'll show the build menu. We'll do this stuff. I'm gonna go through and kind of get some of this other stuff kind of in the bottom down here. Anything that's highlighted green, we haven't done, right? So we're going to go through and just kind of do all this stuff. And part of the reason I was waiting is literally for the clone and the building and the blueprinting. When I first played the demo, the one thing I was like, oh, this game needs blueprints. It needs me to be able to build stuff. Like it's just, there's lots of things that require me to be able to do things and be able to build stuff, and this is all very helpful, right? All right, so now I've built a bunch of this stuff. I have 29 items in here, so it's building, but like I said, now it's building like down here, like, you know, so it's going to basically get integrate, are they thinking cores for this guy, and once this guy has its thinking cores, then it will go all the way back up here and it'll start building integrated widgets, right? So like, yeah, it's nice that it goes through, and if it has the things to build something, it just builds it and moves on with its life, for lower end stuff. But the problem is that like some of that high end stuff, this is probably not the best way to do it, right? So that was all good there. So now the next thing I want to do here is I'm going to go see. It gives me my little box here like this, right? And then I'm going to go down here to this guy like this. I'm going to do this, and then I can do this, right? And then when I do this, and you'll see eventually when it gets built, it's going to build basically all of the stuff here, right? And then anything, when you clone it, it basically copies the entire thing and builds it. Now, it does build it from like top to bottom, left to right. So it can... I think that's the way it does it, but you can get in a situation where sometimes it will build all four of these, then it'll build these, then it'll build these. So you kind of have to kind of cross that bridge and have it kind of do that and do that and do that one. All right, so that way we have all those on sand, and eventually, you know, placement bonus, predictability placed on sand, increase speed when adjacent to exactly 2 other glass kilns, right? So eventually what we'll do is we're going to grab this guy, we're going to start moving him down, and we're going to start building stuff like this. And then we will build like that. So that way this guy's 2, this guy's 2, and then we'll start grabbing these things. I don't think I can, yeah, I can't move those yet. So you'll get in these situations where you have to start building weird freaking things, like this stuff here, you know. Let's see, and then we'll do that, get all these guys upgraded too, and then so what happens, especially when you start doing that, like you see I'm up to 182 things down there, and some of these things can cost quite a bit of resources to upgrade. So it's really easy to get up to like 1,000 items, or, you know, that you're trying to build. And what can end up happening is, by doing this, and I'm doing this kind of on purpose to show you why it's not a good idea. Because what ends up happening is, like, these guys, right? If I go look at this, and this guy, he wants red capacitors. But I need red capacitors, right? So if I go up here and I look at the very first of this thing, is I need computational widgets, right? Well, if I go down here and I look at my computational widget, it needs red capacitors to be able to work. It needs thinking cores to be able to work. So if I go down here and I have all these guys way down here that are trying to get, there's computational widgets right there. So I'm trying to get a computational widget here, which is great, but now the problem is that these guys are going to be stuck and not be able to build anything else, because I've basically broken the system. So if we go look at my resources here, you can see like so much of my stuff is going badly, and that's when you can go in here and kind of hit this thing and hit pause, right? And you'll see as soon as you hit pause, everything will start kind of recovering, and you'll start getting like our computational widgets here. Eventually, they'll start being built. They're probably going in here into integrated production. So that's integrated widgets, right? So this thing is starting to slowly build. So as you start getting a little bit of resources in your buildings, and then we go back up here to the top, and you'll see like these guys need integrated widgets. So basically, all these upgrades are basically sucking down all my integrated widgets. Well, I didn't build these things beforehand. So since I didn't build these things beforehand, now it's trying to it can't build them. So we basically go in here, we wait for a little while for this kind of get caught up, and at least some of the lower stuff kind of get caught up, and then you can kind of release it again and hit play, and then all that stuff will take apart, right? And you'll see kind of the stuff that was able to clear. And once you do that, but like I said, I've made a mess, and I did it on purpose. But by doing this, you don't control what you're building. You're just kind of, whenever it has something, it's just emptying it, and that's not really helpful, because it's not. And then the other side too is like these guys here, where these guys now have stuff, but I can't add anything to them because it's just not ready to it yet. So we'll get more oil up here. We'll get all these guys. So I just keep adding more and more stuff because, that's what I do. So we got all these guys built, right? And then we just play whack-a-mole for a little bit. And when you start doing this, it's going to take you a minute to kind of get all these things going. And you see all it's just resources are just destroyed right now. I'll be back in a little bit when this is kind of built. And I'm not going to build anything for a little bit. Let it catch up. We'll talk to y'all soon. All right. So we're back. We're slowly building up towards more stuff. I got most of the researches done. And then the next one will be I need 1,260 integrated widgets. So I want to build more of these guys. But like, in order to build this guy, like, I guess we can build those fairly quickly. And yeah, until we kind of run out. But like I said, now the problem is like building these things is causing havoc further down the system, right? So I basically ran out of spinning widgets. So now all my spinning widgets are going to be going into making these things instead of going to make the stuff that I need for other things. So there's that problem. So we'll let that one build. But as we slowly make our way through, just playing through the game, like I said, after it was released, I kind of wanted to see kind of where it was. I have a bunch of more of these. So basically every once in a while, especially with this one, I can just go hold down the clicky or control, and then we can just kind of build these guys up. And then that will allow me to kind of build some of these other items that we need. Now, a lot of these items are going to be built rather rapidly, simply because we have the resources for some of the lower end stuff. We don't have it for the higher end stuff. Same thing down here, right? So we'll get all that stuff built. And then, so we're back up to 79 things. It's slowly working its way through. You'll see like 80 back to 79. So those things were built fairly quickly. And then, so it's just kind of playing whack-a-mole, trying to get stuff going, trying to upgrade as quickly as we can to move forward, get a lot of those upgrades for lower end stuff kind of better, and then being able to just hit the C button and just go, I want to build all of these. I don't want to build all those. Like, it would take me forever. I would literally be here until tomorrow. It's just because when you start building a large things like that, it exponentially gets very, very expensive. So There is definitely a fine line. But with all that, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. That is the copy paste blueprints type system in this game. It does make your life a whole lot easier. The next big thing we're looking forward to is auto upgrade. Okay. So there's a blitz upgrade. So this is technology 7, and then there would be a blitz upgrade. So I haven't done that before. So that's new. And then looks like there may be other new things as we go through. Like a lot of these little upgrades here and there, like I probably won't be able to see them because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like the amount of stuff that is that is kind of hidden down here, and you're trying to find and trying to get upgraded and done. This tech tree is just, it's a click on things when they show up green, and just kind of, and then upgrade it. So next episode we'll get on hopefully into the auto upgrade and the blitz upgrades. We'll see if we can make that, and then we'll kind of go from there. So as always, hopefully you are enjoying this. If you are, please throw a like on it. If you have a question, comment, or concern, you can leave that down below. If you have want to see more of this stuff and you are not subscribed, there's a button for that while you're down there. And with that, I'm just going to go around and control click on upgradey things that I need, and then we'll catch y'all next time. Y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. Bye.